Welcome to the series of Relational Database Management System. Myself is Fatima Rafiq, Assistant Professor, Abeda Ramdas Senior College, BCA Department. We have already started with a series of PLSQL. We have seen overview of PLSQL, data type of PLSQL, and the block structure of PLSQL. Today, we will be starting with the another topic, that is error and exception handling. Exception and error occur during the execution, that is runtime of a program, is called exception. In the PLSQL, whenever you are executing a block and because of any reason if you getting any error at runtime in the PLSQL block, that error is called as exception. PLSQL provide the facility to catch the error by declaring the condition in exception block in the program and then take a necessary action to take a necessary action for rectifying the error. Exception can be a user defined. There are logical error defined by a user or a system defined. Whenever we take the exception actually categorized into the two category, that is system defined internal exception, which are raised automatically by the runtime whenever we use a system, and if any error comes and if it is the category of the system defined exception, it will be raised and catched by system itself. But there are another type of exception is also there, which is called user defined exception. The user defined exception should be raised explicitly by a raise statement. This is a syntax of writing the exception. Here we already know that PLSQL is a block structure, so it requires three keywords, that is declare, begin and end. But if we want to use a facility of exception, we want to handle the exception, we will be using the keyword exception. So whenever you are writing the exception handling in the PLSQL block, we need to use exception keyword. Here we have one example of writing the exceptions, where we are declaring one variable which is a salary. We are taking the salary from a user, and if the salary is less than 0, then we are giving a error message that salary must be a positive number. This is the user defined exception actually, but I'll be taking first the system defined or the exception, which is which are the predefined exceptions. So let's start and let's see what are the predefined or system defined exception. A predefined exception is raised automatically whenever there is a violation of Oracle coding rules. Oracle has its own coding rule. So if we violate the Oracle coding rules, the error or the exception will raise automatically. Predefined exceptions are those like zero divide, which is raised automatically when we try to divide a number by a zero. If we want to divide two numbers, whenever the user is putting a number and let's say one of the number out of two number is 0, so Oracle will automatically throw an exception, that is zero divide. Other built-in exceptions are given below. Unexpected Oracle error can be handled using the other handler. It can be handled all raise exceptions that are not handled by any other handler. It must always be written in the last handler in the exception block. What this statement is, like for example, if like I have a zero divide exception, because here I know that whenever the number is divided by 0, it should give us the error like this. But there are some unexpected error which can be present in the Oracle. So to handle all such type of exceptions, we can use a keyword others. So if the exception which did not known by the user is handled by the other keyword, that is the others. These are some in system defined exceptions, means that if this exception comes, system itself is able to handle them. So that is duplicate value and index. When you try to insert a duplicate value in a unique column, you will be getting the exception automatically. Invalid cursor, it occur when we try to access a invalid cursor name. invalid number on a usage of something other than the number in place of the number value. Then there are many inbuilt exceptions which is handled directly by the user. One of them is zero divide. We have just discussed the zero divide. It raises automatically when we try to divide the number by 0. Let's see the example of zero divide with the help of exception. So zero divide exception is the exception which is handled directly by the system. So let's write the zero divide exception, how it is able to handle. So because it is a block, PLSQL block, we need to declare this by using the declare keyword. So I'll be writing declare. It is a keyword. Whenever we want a variable, we need to use the declare keyword. Then in declaration, what I want a as a number, and we want the value of a from a user. What you can do, you can declare here and then take the value from a user. So I'll be writing a number, and then b number. Number is what? It is a data type. And then we, for a result, I'll be using res, and again the data type for a number is res, the data type is number. Now I am taking another keyword which is a begin keyword. As we know that begin is a keyword where actually the execution part of the block is started. Now what I want the value of a from a user. So how to take it? By using the ampersand sign. So by this statement, the value of a user will be accepted. Then I will be taking b colon then ampersand b. By using this statement, I will be able to take the value from a user for a b. And now what I want to do? I want to do c. Okay, I think it will give an error. Let me just give a semicolon and I will be writing this again. The code for writing the zero divide is like this. Whenever we want, let's see the code. Here I have number 1, number 2. I have specified the number 1 with 5, number 2 with 0. We have started with the begin section. Then I have number 1, which is a number 1 divided by number 2. Here we are dividing it by the 0. So what in the standard it should give us? It should give us an error or exception, that is zero divide. And what type of messages we want? You divide by 0. So let's run and see. See here, it is giving us an error, that is you divide by 0. If I change the code little bit, like for example, here if I am writing this a as let's take 5 and b as let's take as 5, and then after if I execute this, it is a good habit to write the code on the notepad if you are using this PLSQL version, because here any updation has to be done. So we need to we can change in the notepad and just copy and paste over here. Now see what it giving us. It is giving us result as 1. 5 is divided by 5 and the result will get stored in n1. So here what the n1 is? N1 is 1. So this particular exception will be, this code of exception will be ignored in this case whenever the number is not negative, not 0. So this is a zero divide exception that is handled by system itself. I think it is clear to you. If you find any difficulty or if you have any problem, you can write in the comment box. Thank you.